Adam Copeland, what did we tell you? What did we tell you? Brother, dude, that sucks. For those of you who haven't heard, Adam Copeland did, in fact, get injured in the big barbed wire steel cage match this past Sunday at Double or Nothing when he executed that top of the cage elbow drop, which immediately scared the shit out of all of us because he came down feet first. And the first thing I thought of and remembered was Randy Savage diving off the top of the crazy cage in WCW that time at his age, and he was never the same after that. And when Copeland was coming down, when we were watching the pay-per-view, I thought he was trying to execute a coup de grace onto Malachi, because he just came down straight feet first, but instead it was the elbow. They did break the table, and then, of course, after the Gangrel return and Adam Copeland won, and as they're celebrating heading up the rampway, you could see Copeland there with a noticeable limp, and we mentioned that in the watch-along. I mentioned it in the review the next day, that I really, really hope that Adam Copeland is not injured. Well, Adam Copeland is injured. He posted a video on social media a day or two ago informing us that he did fracture his tibia, which is like the shin bone, while he was executing that top of the cage elbow drop onto Malachi Black. It is broken. He's on crutches. It will require surgery, and it's going to keep him out of action for several months. So that right there is a huge bummer because it's another title having to be forfeited. If Copeland would have lost, then they would have been all right, but he won the match. Now they've got to forfeit the championship, and it looks like we already know who our next champion is going to be. Last night on Dynamite, the Young Bucks and the entire Elite addressed Adam Copeland's injury. And after the Elite officially stripped Adam Copeland of the TNT Championship, they were about to just award the title to Jack Perry. And that's when a returning Christopher Daniels showed up in the aisleway, informing the Elite that Tony Khan had hired him back and named him interim vice president. And he would be out there to announce any decisions that Tony Khan would make in the future. And this is a kind of a role I think that they've needed for a long time. This is something I pitched for William Regal like 2 years ago, is that Tony Khan is just too weird, too awkward when he's out on TV. But sometimes you might need an authority role out there making decisions that's just a little bit more than Tony Schiavone saying, oh, hang on a minute, I'm getting a word from Tony Khan. You know, they might actually need somebody out there delivering those messages. And Christopher Daniels is a great choice because he can talk, and he's got, you know, he has command in his voice, and I like it when he speaks. And I've always thought that he would make a great kind of on-air authority figure. So I hope this sticks around. It's going to be a fun power struggle with him and the Elite, and he was there to announce that they are not going to be able to just award the championship to Jack Perry because this is where the best wrestle, and you don't just give shit away here. So what they're going to do is they're going to have a series of qualifying matches on TV that's going to start on this Friday, which Daniels said Friday Night Dynamite, and I got confused. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? I think he means Friday Night Rampage. And Jack Perry is going to have an opportunity to qualify for a ladder match at Forbidden Door. So they're going to be doing a bunch of matches on TV leading up to Forbidden Door. And then the winner of all of these matches, the winners of all of these matches, I should say, are going to compete in a ladder match to become the new TNT champion. I like this idea better than a tournament because they're already about to start the Owen, and we don't need 2 tournaments going on. So doing the qualifying matches and a ladder match, it's probably going to be like a Money in the Bank style ladder match, multi-man ladder match for the new TNT title. And I absolutely expect Jack Perry to pick up the win and grab this title and add it to the Elite. So for the Elite storyline, the Adam Copeland injury, you know, might be a happy accident because it allows them to put that belt now on Jack Perry. And even when Matt Jackson was talking in his douchey way on Dynamite, maybe it was just me, but when he said, Adam, we love you, we're thinking of you in your recovery, I felt like he was being genuine there. Just a little message to Copeland through the camera. But then he was right back into Elite mode and said, you are stripped, and they were trying to give the belt away and whatnot. So it's a shame for Copeland. He's going to be out now several months, probably until the end of the year, I would assume. I guess 4 to 6 months is the rumored recovery time for something like this, but he's also in his 50s. And it's just a shame that he took that bump. That was just such a bad idea. He even kind of owned up to it. He goes, I was a little bit younger. I thought I was younger than I was, or, you know, felt bulletproof or got a little cocky. Cocky, I think, was his exact words there. And he definitely regrets that move. But man, I swear every fan, every one of us, as soon as he did that, we were all saying, I hope he's not hurt. He's probably hurt. I mentioned it a couple times, the way he was walking up the ramp. I'm like, I hope he's selling, but he legitimately looks like he is injured something. And I'm glad that it's his tibia, which is just a fracture that can heal, and it's not an ACL, an MCL, an Achilles, something crazy like that. This is something that's probably healable and something he can come back from, but you have to question the decision to do that in the first place. Adam Copeland, Edge, has always been one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I got to see him from the very beginning. I was going to shows when he was working dark matches when he was first coming in. I got a chance to meet him early on in his career in that big car accident that I've talked about a few times. And I've always just really, really appreciated Edge's career and Copeland's career, and I kind of support him wherever he goes. I'm a big fan. So I hated that this happened to him, but at the same time, it's kind of your own fault there, bro. This was easily avoidable. I thought this match was good and violent and memorable without him taking that huge dive. I mean, someone like him doesn't need to rely on spots at this point. And I feel like they brought enough in that match to where that spot wasn't necessary, and it sucks that it resulted in an injury, but that's the way it goes sometimes. It happens to the best of wrestlers. Sometimes you get a little bit carried away and you get injured, and sometimes when you get injured, you're carrying a championship. Now, in this case, I think in both companies, WWE and AEW, during times when they've had to forfeit championships or strip someone of a championship due to injury or whatever, sometimes it's really, really bad timing. One thing that's a little easier about this situation is that it's not as messy as CM Punk getting injured as champion twice, or Thunder Rosa getting injured, or Finn Balor getting injured right when he wins the Universal title in WWE. This is an injury to where, you know, it can play into the storyline nicely. It's not going to completely uproot and disrupt what you were trying to do. It's still bad timing for Copeland. He's in the middle of this run. I was looking forward to whoever he was going to drop that belt to at whatever point. I thought it was actually going to happen at Double or Nothing. I picked Malachi Black to win. So I have been looking forward to when Adam drops the belt. Now he's not going to be able to, but I still think things could be a little bit worse in that regard. And now Jack Perry, if he winds up winning this qualifier and getting put into the ladder match and winning it, I think that would be a perfect victory for the Elite. And now you got all of them holding championships. Might be pretty cool. So best wishes to Adam Copeland in your recovery. Please get back in the ring and finish up your career, because I want to see you have a few more matches still in AEW. I think when he comes back, you know, maybe just keep championships away from him. And by the time he does come back, who knows where Christian will be in his current set of storylines. And maybe we can get a last minute, 11th hour, right before they both retire, Edge and Christian reunion, ENC reunion in AEW. Maybe even tie in Gangrel and bring back the Brood. Might be fun. Let's just hope that we get something fun from Copeland when he does return. But in the meantime, best wishes to Adam Copeland.